What RJ is about to show you is information that's available in real time across the enterprise to thousands of users, and it's getting the customer experience information to the people who can control the experience every day, which makes it extremely powerful. It enables change within organizations and really making organizations customer-centric because customer feedback is part of their daily operations. And that's what's really exciting about this space and the software that we're about to show and some of the things you can do with it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to PeopleMetrics Live. As many of you know, PeopleMetrics Live is where we talk about how to measure, manage, and improve the customer, patient, and employee experience. But for folks who aren't working with us already, you may not know that we're also a software company, and we have a really powerful experience management platform that can help you put all of the tips and tricks that we share here into practice at your organization. That said, on today's Inside PeopleMetrics edition of PeopleMetrics Live, we're going to show you some of the latest changes to the PeopleMetrics experience management platform and give you a sneak peek at what's coming soon in 2021. If you've got questions for our team, please drop them in the comments below and we'll be sure to answer them. So Sean, you're going to lead us through this tour of the PeopleMetrics platform today. So I'll hand it to you.
I'll definitely start it and then
yes.
hand it off to the experts. But yeah, I mean, I think what you said is true. This PeopleMetrics Live, we tackle a lot of what we think are important topics around improving the customer experience or patient experience, employee experience. And, we talk about specific actions that people can take to do that. And the reality is, in today's world, the technology is a huge part of experience management. And, Audrey, all of our clients are heavily dependent on our software, along with our expertise and guidance, of course, on what questions to ask and what all this means. But, without the platform, the technology we're about to show today, it really is just a theoretical exercise. This really makes it operational and real.
Yeah, definitely. The platform, our software is sort of what holds all our programs together. It's where our customers go to get real-time information and then to analyze their feedback to be able to make organization-wide decisions.
Yeah, I mean, the really cool thing about the software that RJ is going to show in a second is it's pervasive across an organization, and it really democratizes feedback. Where before, when I first started in the industry, we would do a study. Maybe we'd reach out to all customers once a year, once every 2 years. We'd look at the data, we'd analyze it, we'd put together a fancy PowerPoint, we'd present it to 1 or 2 people, and that's it. What RJ is about to show you is information that's available in real time across the enterprise to thousands of users, and it's getting the customer experience information to the people who can control the experience every day, which makes it extremely powerful. And it enables change within organizations and really making organizations customer-centric because customer feedback is part of their daily operations. And that's what's really exciting about this space. And I think, the software that we're about to show and some of the things you can do with it, it's just sort of crazy compared to what this industry was like, when I started in it. It's radically changed. So that's my introduction to it. Anything else you want to say, Audrey, before we turn it over to RJ?
No, let's see it.
All right, let's do it. RJ, it's all you.
All right, let me just share my screen really quick here. Can you guys see this?
We can see it.
Sure can.
All right, so this here is basically the landing page to our platform, which gives you some stats on sort of the main reports that people start using. So yeah, let's jump into it. I'm going to go over 3 main new features that we built last year. They're all pretty substantial. And I'll start with our new dashboards. What our dashboards are, basically, after you have survey data coming in for 1 or more of your surveys, you can generate reports from that data, and you can do it by building dashboards. So this here is a dashboard, the new ones. It's different from our old dashboards in the fact that you can print them and they're paginated. So we got together and we looked at a bunch of different ways the industry were building reports and try to figure out how we can make this really easy to manage and really easy to print and share. So what I have here is I just went ahead and built a dashboard that you can see has 2 surveys on here, and it's over the last 3 years. And I put a really simple little table on here that just kind of shows the QMPS score and the detractors and promoters that were pulled out of the survey data. So yeah, we go in here, we can start to build out a pretty looking dashboard that we can then print if we want to. So first I'll just duplicate this table and stick it next to it. And let's change it and see what this kind of data looks like as a bar chart. And let's see what it looks like. Let's see, this is for a fictitious park. So let's see what the QMPS is across all the parks. And so what you have here is real-time data. So as survey responses are coming in, these charts are going to change. So actually hide QMPS, and we can see sort of compare detractors and promoters across all of our parks here. And I can keep duplicating this, and I can keep making new graphs here. Say the one on the bottom, we just want to show QMPS maybe. We can put that underneath it. Get rid of QMPS there. You can kind of build out pages this way. It always takes up the whole page so that you can, it looks nicer when it prints if it takes up the whole page. So yeah, you can make a new page just by scrolling down to the bottom. And for the second page, let's just show a few other kinds of graphs you can make. Simple one.
So RJ,
yeah.
While you're setting that up, there's a couple of things I wanted to highlight about the new dashboards.
Sure.
One is that the functionality is the same. So for anybody who's familiar with building charts in our dashboards, you can see on the right that everything there is what you're used to. But what you get now is updated visuals with new colors that really are optimized for publishing these as a PDF and printing them out or attaching them and sharing them across your organization. And so some of the other things that are updated are where you move the charts and your ability to move them, and where you can add notes about what's going on in your charts.
Yeah, and we've heard from you over the years that you love our dashboards. They're very flexible and they're beautiful, but you really need to be able to print and share them. Like, that's what we've heard over and over again. And what RJ is showing is really a brand new dashboarding module within our platform that allows us to do just that.
Yeah, I just went ahead and made a second page here. This is showing a line graph. This is data for a fictitious park that we just kind of set up. But this is your detractors over the period of a few years, broken up by month. And then down here, we have a question of what was it interesting, kind of splitting up the people who said yes and no. Another nice thing you can do about these dashboards is, if outside of getting number crunching and things like this, if you just want a simple sort of response stream and look at a list of responses that can come in, you can do that too and pick the information that you'd like to see. Maybe you want to see what everyone's QMPS was next to an email. You can get that information as well.
Hi, it's Madeline. Thanks for joining us for PeopleMetrics Live. If this is your first time watching, PeopleMetrics Live is a weekly live webinar session where experts from our team answer your questions about customer, employee, and patient experience, measurement, and management. And sometimes we show you how you can achieve your goals using tools within our experience management platform. We've been doing this for over 2 decades now, and this is a great way for us to share our knowledge with you. You can sign up for upcoming sessions of PeopleMetrics Live at www.peoplemetrics.com/events and bring a friend.
Up at the top, in the main section where you have all your options for the dashboard, now you have this ability to publish this, and you'll be able to see that you can generate a PDF from the real-time data that you have here. And it'll take a snapshot of this dashboard and start loading down here. And then we just wait for it to be finished. All right, just gonna download this. And open it up. And you get a sort of a cover page. It gives you ideas. There's a lot of ways to filter your data specifically for any given chart or across the whole dashboard. So this sort of the cover page that'll let you see what all the filters are and the surveys that you've done. And then you have this PDF that you can work with, bring it to a meeting and chat about offline. One of the nice things about the new dashboard out from what our old dashboard was is the ability to do a lot of things with the layout that you couldn't before. You can shift things around. You can do a lot of stuff to make it look nice. You can move charts, and you go into this edit mode. See, I can decide if I wanted to move this chart to the second page, or I could just swap it with the one it was at. You can sort of change things on the fly and update your pages, and then print it again or save it. It'll save everything as you move stuff around. So as your data comes in, you can make these reports sort of evolve with information that you're going to need to answer.
I mean, right,
questions.
RJ, this page thing is just like is a huge change from what we had before, right? Where before it was just long kind of, I don't even know what you call it, streams of widgets that could go on forever, right?
Right. Yeah, and this kind of allows you to break things up better. You can put headers over top of the entire dashboard. You can add text here if you want. Just build it right into the page and sort of really build a much more just a nicer sort of report at the end of the day. It's just visually more appealing, and it's quick to break out.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the challenges these days is there's so much data from the customer. How do you make it in a way that is digestible for your organization, right? And by putting together these reports through PDFs that RJ's talking about, you can schedule these things, right, RJ, if you wanted to be sent out to your team or to people within the organization on a regular basis, which is very powerful.
Yes, you can. That's another feature that we added this year, or last year, I should say. The ability to schedule reports and have them sent on emails. And that's available here also in the menu. One of the main things you can do with dashboards, these reports, is you can share them across the company, right? So if I were to go ahead and share this out to maybe all the other admins in this company, once I do that, I now have the ability to schedule this report and sort of set it up on a cadence and say, I actually want this report to be sent out once a month of all the data from the previous month. And then I can say, that's going to go out to my admins, enable this scheduling, and I'm done. And now this report will be emailed to everyone. And that kind of flexibility makes it really nice, and it'll bring people together back into the platform to discuss and have just more access to this data and get it in real time. So, yeah.
And Audrey and your team, right? You help clients figure out what's best to send, and that's sort of where our client support continues to come in. But the fact that this can be done is definitely, we think, is being used a lot and will be used more in the future.
Yeah, we're trying to get all the power of this platform into the hands of the users themselves, so they can they can manage this all themselves if they really want to. It's all there.
So if you were setting up a new program with us, we would set you up with some initial best practice dashboards based on your survey that you would have when you logged in. And then you would have the full flexibility to do what RJ just did and build dashboards however you want them to be, or to customize the ones that PeopleMetrics helps you with. If you're an existing client, we're going to be working with you to move over to this new dashboarding in the coming weeks. And we'll be able to migrate your existing dashboards into this new format coming soon.
Yeah. So this section over here in the menu is kind of where all your reports and dashboards live. Going down further, there's a section here called respondent alerts. And this is the next thing I want to talk about. It's a new feature that we made that allows you to manage alerts, which I'll show you from the perspective of the dashboard coming in. So say we want to look at an individual response. Let's see something with this. This is the whole response of that person. And you can see if you scroll down, you get every single question that they answered. No alerts were fired. If they were, you'd see, and you'd be able to click into it. I'll try another one. A lot of these were loaded with alerts, but maybe not. Yeah, so I'll just go in on the sidebar. So that's here. As responses come in, we can program, we'll discuss with you sort of the things that you want to be notified about. Say somebody answers a really low NPS score on one of the surveys, and you want to be notified about that. So we could set up a recover alert to fire when that happens, and this is sort of the dashboard that you can go to work these alerts. And this whole system was completely redone from what we had originally. We tried to change it to be more of a sort of a life cycle approach, where you say, what do I want to do with this alert? How do I want to deal with it? And we came up with, you want to identify what the root cause was, and you want to be able to track that. You're going to be reaching out to the client, maybe not. And then also the internal reaction of how did you handle the alert? So what can you do differently? And by doing this, we allow you to sort of tag things in the system, and then these tags are reportable. So this is an alert. This is a COVID response, which we set up due to COVID things that have been happening. Let's go to the recover one. Yeah, so root cause, there was a disappearance. This is fictitious park about Roswell, so gonna go with the theme here. So I tagged it, and I can change it. I could say if it's working. If I couldn't reach out to somebody, I could say I couldn't contact on it. These statuses are all reportable too, and you can go back to your dashboards and add reporting on top of this to be able to track how the alert's been followed. But once you've worked it, say you called them, say you tried to contact them, you had a first attempt, but maybe you got a voicemail, we can track that. And these tags and comments will be kept together. You can also filter all the alerts that are coming in by the survey, maybe, or maybe you just want to see stuff that's open. You could do that too. So yeah, this is the new alert system.
Did you know that you can watch past sessions of PeopleMetrics Live right here on our YouTube channel? All you have to do is click the link above. Be sure to check them out for answers to dozens of questions, along with stories, tips, short tutorials, and best practices from our team of experts. You can click the bottom right corner of this video to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an update.
I'll just show you quick in this demo page how you can sort of report on alerts really quickly. Say I want to see my response count, but I want to see all the tags across those responses. I can have that put in this dashboard really quickly. And you'll see that the attempted contact that I just tagged is already in this report, because as people do new things, they pop up in the dashboards immediately.
And Roger, you could click on that and see those people, right? If we wanted to.
Yeah, so if I go here, I'm going to get another, sort of response stream of data. And if I look at this response, I'll be able to see, this is the alert here. This one in particular had a COVID response and a recover alert. This is an alert I already worked. And if I click on this, I go right back to the alerts platform, and I can see what happened there, what the tags were that were put on there, and any comments. I could see what they might have said. This is the voicemail that I wrote earlier. Yeah, so that's the alerting system.
Right. So what's the alerting? The alerting now is at another level because we're really enabling root cause tags to be identified and reported on, and there are dashboards you can create from them. We also are helping people just track how many contacts that they made for a given respondent, and what are you doing internally as an organization based on this alert. So alerts are great when you grind and follow up and contact the customer and make it right? That's the fundamental part of an alert. But if you can raise it to another level and identify why are these alerts happening and what did we do as a result, what you can do is start changing your company so that future alerts are less likely, right? And that's what we're trying to do here with this new module.
Yeah. So this is an example of somebody's survey response that came in that actually triggered 3 different alerts, and you can kind of see all of them as you go by. It'll tell you what answer that they had that triggered the alert for each one, and then all the different tags that were tagged on there to show what you did about the alert. Yeah, okay, so that's basically the alerting system in a nutshell. The third thing that I wanted to go over is our invitation management that we added to the platform, which is over here on the section. It's one of the main sections, survey invitations. When, as you send us, invitation data, we send out invitations in, let me just pull up a bunch. So this is sort of where, before people can even take the survey, we have to get the survey to them. And it's kind of broken up into 3 sections. You have file upload management. We get files, you can upload them directly here, but we also have automated systems that will take files in and they'll pop up here, and it kind of does a breakdown of these, of the file ingestion. And it'll show you how many records were pulled in, and it'll tell you if the file was processed and how many were sent out of that file. And you can kind of drill in from a file point of view. This file has 1 record. This is just an example, but you can view and see all the invites that came in, and you can find out what happened with everything in that file. This one says this person was invited, and they're invited October 15th. You can get a full audit log, so you can track, if you need to, sort of anything that happened along the way of getting that survey invitation out to that customer. Show you another one, what it looks like if maybe they did not send. I think it's this one. Let's see. Yeah, so this is an example of an invitation that never went out because it's expired, and you can hover over the status and see, why did it expire? In this case, it matched an invite already sent. So this person already received an invitation, and the rules that were built around this survey say you don't want to send another invitation to this person. You can see what the rules are here, that don't invite if they're invited in the last day, down at the bottom there. So that follows all that new. And once somebody is invited, it moves into the correspondence page. And here you can track the responses themselves. And you can see when the invitation was sent, how many submissions they made, and if they completed their survey. And we can look at the survey. So it's sort of a nice window into sort of the beginnings of getting the survey and the survey health, getting the survey to the customers. This is another section that we've added last year that we want to get into everyone's hands, so they can just have more information to work with.
Just from the client perspective, from what I've been hearing, is this is a feature that's been asked about often. People always want to know how many records were invited, why were they invited or not invited, what's going on with my file, was it successfully processed, and this this section of the platform will get you all of that information. So I'm excited to get this into the hands of our clients.
Yeah, we're really moving more towards like having a self-service platform, and we want to, we want to have all these tools available for you in the platform to just get the things done that you need to get done without having to contact us, even if you don't need to. We're here, but there's a lot of stuff that we can put out there to make your life simpler. So just to get the data into your hands.
That's great.
That's pretty much the entirety of my demo.
Our founder and CEO, Sean, wrote an amazing book about customer experience management called Listen or Die, 40 Lessons That Turn Customer Feedback into Gold. It's a deep dive into best practices for CX measurement and management strategy based off of Sean's years of experience in the space, and you can easily read it front to back on an airplane ride. Pick up your copy today. It's available now on Amazon.
Why don't we give everybody a sneak peek what's coming this year?
Sure. Let me just share that. I'll hand the floor over to Audrey.
All right. Yeah. So while you're getting that pulled up, RJ's team is always working on new features. And so this is kind of an overview of what we expect to come out in the first half of this year. These are some really exciting new features. The first one is Snapshot. And what this is an automatically generated dashboard that has results for all of your questions on the survey. This is going to be extremely useful when you set up a new survey and you want to see data coming in immediately. You'll get this snapshot automatically.
Right, Audrey. And that one will be something where it's a predetermined look and feel, and it's going to be automatically delivered based on your question type. So as soon as you launch a survey, you're going to see this populating automatically without setting up widgets or anything like that.
Yeah. Scheduled dashboards is what RJ just showed. That's almost ready to be released, so will be coming soon. We'll work with you to figure out what dashboards that you want to set up to be scheduled and sent out on a regular cadence via email. So that's exciting. And then just an overall mobile refresh. Right now, we're thinking mobile on all design. So mobile first for everything that's coming out. And we'll be refreshing some things to make sure that they render really well in a mobile view. And then moving into more reporting and admin tools, we're going to upgrade our survey health reporting with a new portal that's going to centralize all survey tracking metrics. So that's your invites, your completes, your bounces, your opt-outs, anything having to do with the health of your survey is all going to be in one place for easy reporting and understanding what's going on.
Yeah, actually, I could just speak a little longer to that.
Sure.
So when I showed you the invitation pages, those reports, the survey health page is going to be more like a landing page for all of those, sort of a higher level, top level survey. How's everything looking? And then from there, you'll be able to drill in and see the pages that I showed you, so that you'll get a quicker view into what's going on with your surveys.
Moving on to the next one is we currently allow you to manage your own users and add new users in the platform. What the enhancement will be the ability to bulk manage your users. So upload and provision groups of users at a time rather than having to do them one at a time, which I know a lot of clients are looking for. RJ, we've talked about the next one a little bit, open-end stream enhancements. I know that's sort of in progress right now, but it's updates to the look and feel of the open-end stream, how we view comments, how we keyword search, and it will be refreshed to view in mobile. And then finally, enhanced filtering. There's lots of great filtering that happens in the dashboards now, but this will allow you to create default filters, quick filters that you go back to time and time again, and things that are based on your user role and access. So we're looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, we'll have to do another PeopleMetrics live stream just to show all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the open-ended stream things finished. It's a whole, we completely had a redesign based on a lot of feedback from people and came up with a really nice solution for that. So I'm
We'll definitely do a future PeopleMetrics Live just on open ends, which we can cover that, text analytics and open-ended translations, which is another great feature. that automatically translates open ends into English from different languages. I think that would be a great next one.
And then, yeah, I just wanted to mention that these are sort of near-term things that are coming out in the first half of this year. So we'll have to do another PeopleMetrics Live sometime in the summer when we have the rest of the features that are going to come out this year.
I mean, I can give a sneak peek on the themes for the second half. It's going to be, you know, improvement of the survey engine, making it more user-friendly, including making our digital offering more robust in terms of measuring the customer experience on portals, apps, websites, things like that. And we're also working to have better and easier Salesforce integration. We have that now, but there's ways that we will make that easier on you when you integrate your data from PeopleMetrics into Salesforce. So those are just some things that we know are on the long-term roadmap that we'll have more details on later in the year.
Awesome. Well, we're right about at time. And I just want to say thank you to Sean, Audrey, and RJ for sharing your time and taking us on a tour of the platform and what's coming up next. And on behalf of everyone here at PeopleMetrics, thank you for joining us for PeopleMetrics Live. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe right here so you never miss an update. And have you checked out other sessions of PeopleMetrics Live yet? You can click right here to watch them all. I'll see you there.